This happened to me about a number of years ago, and I have never forgotten. One night, as I was lying in bed trying to get some sleep, my black cat Sabrina scratched at my bedroom door to be let out. Tired, but mostly awake, I slipped out of bed and shuffled to my door and let her go out. However, she looked at me and guided me to the side door to go outside. I went to the door and opened it, then pushed the screen door out of the way so she could leave. However, after I closed the screen door, I happened to look out across the way, which happens to be the side of the neighbor's house. In the driveway, blocking a bit of their house, is my dad's 1995 Chevy truck. On the other side of my dad's truck, I saw a strange figure standing by the hood. I could only see its shoulders and up. It had a larger head than its body, from what I could see. Its neck was thin, and its shoulders were bony looking. Whatever it was had two large, empty eye sockets, where eyes should be but weren't. They were pitch black like two voids against its pale skin. Now, the rest of the face I could never forget. It looked like the upper half of its face was covered in skin, and the lower it went towards, its jaws, it looked shredded. Where the jaw was located was complete bone, and it had a wide, toothy grin as it just stood there and seemed to be looking right at me. Mind you, I wear glasses to see distances, and I thought maybe I was seeing some kind of blur of the bushes or something from the neighbor's house. So I squinted my eyes to get a better look. It made it worse. I saw even more details of the creature than I did before squinting. Everything about its appearance became more clear and detailed. The texture of the skin, the wrinkles, the bits of torn-up-looking flesh. There was no mysticking what I saw now. Terrified, I closed the side door and locked it. I was breathing heavily as my heart raced in my chest. Even then, I tried to reason with myself that maybe what I saw wasn't real. But I couldn't shake it. I know what I saw. Still scared, I ran into my room and jumped into bed. I was in my 30s, yet I took my blankets and hid under the covers like a kid. After all these years, I suddenly felt the way I used to feel as a child, when I woke up to vivid night terrors. That fear of not being able to escape the horrors of my imagination. Feeling completely alone and vulnerable even though my parents were across the way in their bedroom. As I hid under the blankets, I suddenly felt the way I used to feel as a child when I woke up to vivid night terrors. That fear of not being able to escape the horrors of my imagination. Feeling completely alone and vulnerable even though my parents were across the way in their bedroom. As I hid under the blankets, I suddenly heard long, continuous scratches on my wall by where the creature was seen. It was like it was in my room, and running a nail along my bumpy bedroom wall. I could hear the nail lightly thump each time it hit them. My panicking grew, and I felt more and more at the mercy of childhood trauma. I started to cry and tried to talk myself out of this fear that gripped me. Maybe this thing fed on fear, I thought to myself. Maybe it was getting a rise out me and using my fear for its enjoyment. I tried to calm down and tell myself that everything was okay. As I was starting to relax, the scratching finally stopped, and everything went quiet. Suffice to say, I did not want to see that thing ever again, and to try and convince myself that I was still seeing things. The next night, as the cat wanted to go outside again, and I reluctantly looked in the location of where the creature had stood behind the hood of my dad's truck. Nothing in the area looked like the creature at all, not even any of the features. That's when I settled with myself that what I saw was real. And that realization scared me all the more. I never want to see that thing again, and I hope it never comes back.